The 10 best ring exercises for building muscle. Find out the most important compound exercises for getting jacked. Isolating muscles is also effective with the correct bodyweight exercises too. What's up everyone? Daniel Vadnal, physio here for Fitness FAQs. Face pulls will add slabs of meat to your upper back and rear delts. With rings, we're able to do this tried and true gym exercise using our body weight. Aim to pull your arms to a 90-90 shape while minimizing body English. Face pulls are simply a row with external rotation at our shoulders, contracting with conviction in order to lift our body and milking that negative as we lower down. The slightest change in posture is going to change the intensity quite a lot. Make sure to use a ring height and an angle that allows you to rep these out. Face pulls are popular because they build muscle and strengthen the rotator cuff. It's rare for us to train this specific range of motion with conventional exercises. That's why it's helpful. Many people who begin doing external rotation with face pulls report their shoulder pain decrease and overhead function improve. This isn't saying face pulls will fix every problem, but strengthening a common area of weakness can help. The other positive is face pulls are just another exercise option to include on your pull day. It's always nice having exercise variety beyond just pull-ups and rows. Because the strength curve is hardest at the top, don't just stop your set if you can't hit 90-90. Rep out some stretch partials to genuinely fatigue the muscles. A calisthenics video would be incomplete without push-ups. The advantage of rings is the massive stretch through our chest and shoulders. With the upper body working at a deficit, the added range of motion is magic for hypertrophy. The converging motion of the hands is comparable to doing a dumbbell press. You're getting a nasty contraction at the top of each rep. Expect to feel your pecs like never before. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but ring movement versus being fixed on the floor is a game changer. Make the most of your push-ups by letting the scapula move freely. Working through retraction to protraction promotes shoulder health. There isn't really muscle building merit for the scapula moving during push-ups, but making your shoulders robust helps with longevity. Please don't arch the lower back too much either. Standardize your form with a plank-like tension to keep technique reliable. The instability will make you want to rush your ring push-ups. Building muscle benefits from a controlled negative with an emphasis on the deep stretch. Bodyweight training demands you be the boss of tempo. Muscle is given to people who lean into that discomfort and push. Ring push-ups are best placed as a secondary pushing exercise in your workout. This is because most people are stronger in the horizontal plane of motion compared to the vertical. You're best off doing dips first, followed by push-ups to best manage fatigue. Archer push-ups increase difficulty without weights. Working unilaterally means one side has to push the majority of your body weight. You're going to be weak with one arm push-ups compared to two. It's all good as long as if you're doing at least 5 reps on each arm per set, you'll be growing bigger muscles. These can be done in an alternating fashion or repping out one side at a time. Both are good in their own way. Inverted rows are great for packing on size in the back. You'll also get in some nice bicep volume when rowing for high reps too. If you're struggling with rounded shoulders, rowing on the regular helps strengthen these postural muscles. Rows are also complementary for improving push-ups. This is because of the relationship between antagonist and agonist muscles. By rowing with a neutral grip, expect to grow a bigger brachialis of the upper arm and brachioradialis of the forearm. Pulling with tucked elbows biases the mid-back and lat muscles. Pulling with flared elbows is nice for prioritizing the rear delts instead. It should be clear there's no perfect variation of rows. Switching things up is going to be a feature during your training journey. When rowing for the goal of muscle growth, the average person does them wrong. It's common to see people stop a set when they can no longer achieve a full range of motion. Just because you're at technical failure doesn't mean you've reached muscular failure. When rowing, don't be afraid to do some stretch partials to genuinely challenge your back muscles. Inverted rows are great because they have an excellent stimulus to fatigue ratio. Rows destroy your muscles but don't leave you feeling exhausted afterwards. The exercise profile of rows makes them a perfect secondary exercise after chin-ups for some more back building homework. I invite you to do weighted rows by loading your chest or using a dip belt. This progression is my all-time favorite for bodyweight bodybuilding. Sure, it's a bit of a pain to set up, but there's no longer a need to do endless reps before you start feeling fatigued. The exercise is now objective, so it's easy to apply progressive overload. Inverted rows are no longer a beginner exercise with extra weight, making them a respectable muscle building option. The single arm row is another challenging variation to keep you growing. These are humbling because each side has to do 100% of the rowing compared to the compensations which can happen on two arms. Many people find they can get a better mind-muscle connection by training one side at a time. You're also able to side bend the spine a bit during rows to get even more of a lat contraction. Reducing left to right asymmetry in size and strength is another reason for doing your single arm rows. Ring flies are the go-to exercise for chest growth. Flies for bodybuilding are best done with bent arms. You lower the risk of injury while increasing the chest stimulus. Because the rings are rotating, enjoy using a flared elbow fly without a problem. Best practice is using your maximum depth to fully stretch the pecs. Besides, the bottom is where the most gains are made. Of course, range depends on your body's flexibility and strength. Going deeper is something that you should gradually work on improving very slowly. Squeezing the hands together at the top is beneficial too. This brief lockout on a chest fly gives a nasty peak contraction to the muscles and a huge pec pump. For my bodyweight bodybuilders, ring flies are an S-tier exercise for isolation, without a doubt. By changing the angle of the fly, you modify the difficulty and also which part of the chest gets stressed. Incline is going to work the lower chest, horizontal, the middle chest, and decline, the upper chest. If your pecs are lagging or you just want to make them massive, isolation is your best friend. By just doing a few sets of ring flies at the end of a workout, it's an efficient way to get in some more chest work and grow. Besides, the feeling of a pumped chest after doing flies is instant gratification. After your workout, you'll be enthusiastically counting down the days until your next ring session. The pelican curl is an effective way to grow bigger biceps. We're getting a comparable stretch and stimulus to incline bicep curls. Isolating the biceps with the arms behind the body makes up for what's missing from chin-ups. Why this exercise is unique is the eccentric contraction is the means of overload. The biceps are creating tension as they lengthen, which means plenty of muscle damage for growth. By doing only negatives, we can train the biceps with supramaximal effort beyond what we can lift. The ideal setup is one where you can control the negative but aren't strong enough to curl back up. Don't shy away from effort with pelicans. Don't stop short of your potential just because it's getting hard. You can handle plenty of reps. Just make sure that you're fighting for every degree as you lower until lockout. Time under tension must be respected with these bad boys. Use your biceps as brakes on the way down, taking around 6 to 8 seconds each rep. Remember what you're fighting for. A bigger muscle has the potential to be a stronger muscle. Your bigger biceps from pelican curls will translate to improved performance on every pulling exercise. Isolation isn't only for aesthetics. Your biceps can now withstand the burden of hard training, sparing the precious elbow joints and tendons. Expect some hellish DOMs a day or two after doing pelican curls. No joke, washing your hair might make your biceps cramp, so be careful. If you're looking for something easier, simply do ring curls. This is a stock standard bicep curl using our body weight as resistance. The peak contraction is more intense when flexing the arms. I'd compare these to preacher curls at the gym. Remember to keep your body stiff so that all of the heavy lifting is happening from the biceps. If you want a complete rings workout to get massive, shop Fitness FAQ's Body by Rings program and transform your physique today. Okay, here's how to increase the size of your abs with hanging knee raises. We're essentially doing crunches with our legs, curling into a ball to squeeze the abs. Trunk training is becoming popular for building muscle using range of motion exercises. The hanging knee raise is superior to a plank because of the stretch and squeeze versus a static contraction. We can't expect our abs to get bigger just by doing our regular compound exercises. Sure, the abs are involved in pull-ups and push-ups, but abs need direct love and care to flourish. A common myth is that the ab muscles can't get bigger. Our six-pack responds to training just like any other muscle with smart exercises. The harsh truth is if your body fat percentage is too high, you can do hanging knee raises until the cows come home and your abs still won't show. Regular abs training will increase their size. Nutrition will reveal the six-pack. I like rings because we're forced to control the eccentric in order to prevent ourselves from swinging around. Bodybuilding tempo is baked into these, making your abs work overtime. For technique, lift your knees to the maximum range that you can each rep. Sprinkling in some stretch partials is good stuff too. Lifting your knees halfway or even a quarter when you're fatigued is great for growth. The dumbbell knee raise is an effective progression. You can go as heavy as your abs and hip flexors can handle. I prefer knee raises as a core exercise because it's practical in overloading at both home and the gym. Everybody has the flexibility for knee raises. Dumbbells are everywhere as well, so there's no excuse for not getting those big beefy abs. The hanging leg raise makes things even harder by default. By extending the lever of our legs, the tension from our abs and hip flexors increases. These require lots of active flexibility to do with locked knees, so keep a soft bend if you must. Sure, having a shredded six-pack is great, but there's more to learn. Pike push-ups are the bodyweight overhead press. This exercise will grow your shoulders, upper chest, and even triceps. I recommend elevating the hands and feet to work your upper body at a deficit. Choose a height that suits your level of strength and progress this over time. For muscle growth, we want to work towards a big range of motion for big gains. Pressing with our elbows in the scapular plane is ideal for pike push-ups, tracking the elbows between flared out and tucked in. The limitation of pike push-ups is they're easy to cheat. The body always seeks the path of least resistance. Compensating is a strategy to take tension off the upper body. A common mistake is shifting our weight backwards. This form breakdown is highlighted when the forearms angle back. Use a mirror or film yourself during pike push-ups. If the exercise feels easy or technique looks funky, change what's needed. Just think about making your pike push-ups feel heavy on the shoulders. Lean forwards on the way down. Get your head in front of the hands and reverse the motion while staying on your tippy toes. If you're training hard close to failure, expect to grow some cannonball delts, I can guarantee that. But first, please master the floor pike push-up. It's unrealistic to jump straight into rings without doing the basics first. This is the best beginner progression because you're working the same movement and muscles. Your goal is doing 5+ reps of the pike push-up with the hands on the floor. This will condition your muscles and build the requisite overhead pressing strength. Once you're smashing out deficit pike push-ups, only then can you unlock the power of rings. By now, you should believe why ring push-ups are so effective. The instability and shoulder emphasis is a more challenging way to overhead press. Just keep yourself accountable with technique and there's plenty of room to grow. Continuing on with chin-ups, if you want a huge upper back and bulbous biceps, you've come to the right exercise. Rings make it possible for people with poor mobility or pain to chin up without a problem. Rotating our hands as we pull is the main reason why. Expect your muscles to get fatigued without joint or tendon stress. The bicep building benefits of ring chin-ups are undeniable. The supinated grip emphasizes your arms to get bigger and stronger. But how should I position my scapula? Is the core hollow or arched during chin-ups? Forget about these kind of internal cues because they overcomplicate technique. Your body is smart and it's going to figure out the best strategy to use automatically. Just think about getting your chin above the hands at the top, elbows straight at the bottom. Having an outcome focused with chin-ups allows you to do what matters, training hard with progress in mind. External cueing is all you need. Changing technique when fatigued doesn't work in practice anyway. The mistake worth avoiding is sloppy rep speed. Bouncing from the bottom robs you of muscle growth and is pretty stressful on the joints and tendons. Bad technique alongside doing too much too soon are the main causes of injury. The most sensible thing is regressing the chin up. Eccentrics help beginners build strength in reverse. Jump to the top and lower down slowly. 3 to 6 eccentric reps with a few sets will do the trick. Beginners who master their basics progress faster than people who rush the process. The calisthenics journey is going to take time and consistency. Today's theme for every ring exercise is the best results come when choosing the right progression for your level. Bodyweight tricep extensions will transform your physique. Expect to add thickness to your arms, get stronger at pushing, and improve elbow joint health. If you've never prioritized triceps on arm day, you're leaving gains on the table. Pressing with the arms above our head is the secret sauce. We're fully stretching the triceps this way. For technique, I'm just keeping my core braced as I bend and extend my arms. With isolation training, there's no reason to use poor technique and fast eccentrics. You should be controlling your extensions. You should be feeling a mind-muscle connection and tightness and fatigue in the arms. Strict tempo with the negative and train to failure are important for growing girthy arms. Please train your triceps at a posture where you're able to do moderate to high reps. For people who get elbow pain, make sure you're keeping the elbows tucked. Another variation for comfortable tricep extensions is a single ring setup. Otherwise, raise the rings to lower the intensity so your tissues can adapt and overcome. I recommend doing continuous reps to keep tension on your triceps. It's tempting to rest pause at the lockout. This isn't wrong, it just makes your training hard to replicate. A byproduct of tricep extensions is we gain core strength for free. Keeping a hollow body is tough work. You're pretty much doing an ab wheel rollout with each rep of these. The core bracing of bodyweight tricep extensions is a feature, not a bug. Sure, there's probably more optimal exercises for pure triceps growth, but becoming well-rounded has its place for most of us training. If you want huge pecs, big adults, and thick triceps, get dipping. We can use flared elbows to emphasize the chest or tucked elbows to hit the triceps. Choose what suits your goal or whatever feels most natural. Ring dips shine shine because they make the exercise feel more comfortable due to the freedom of movement. Many people fall in love with rings for their dips because they make the exercise fun and pain-free. A common mistake is stopping above 90 degrees due to a lack of strength. This is less than ideal for hypertrophy because we want that juicy stretch. Your aim is for the rear delts to go below the elbows or more during dips. Strive for your maximum depth that feels comfortable and strong for your body. Doing fast reps is another shortcut robbing you of gains. If you're not able to do dips properly, take a step back and build your strength. Bands are a perfect way to build volume and progress. This allows full range of motion while using a muscle building tempo. Instead of struggling through a few questionable ring dips with your body weight, bands allow you to manage sets of 5+ so that you can actually build muscle. Tricep dips are another useful regression. No, these aren't killing your gains. No, your shoulders won't explode. Ring tricep dips are safe because the hands and shoulders can move to suit your flexibility. Resting on our feet offloads a portion of our body weight so that we can get after it. Expect the tricep pump of your life when doing these for higher reps. With tricep dips, you're hitting the same muscles and movement as real dips, so it's time well spent. To finish off with, here is the most important principles that you should know for building muscle with rings. Change the difficulty of any exercise with your posture relative to gravity. As you go from an incline towards decline, you're pushing a greater percentage of your body weight. Weighted calisthenics allows a lifetime of muscle growth. Use a backpack with weights or a dip belt to continue challenging yourself on rings. Unilateral or single arm exercises are a progression in some cases. If you want to make things harder without equipment, unilateral is the best choice. Ring training at the end of the day just follows basic bodybuilding principles. We have to gradually increase our reps, our sets, and overload the exercise with progression or weight added. When combined with plenty of volume and training close to failure, rings will get the job done. If you're still here and you want to keep learning and master calisthenics, click here to watch another video. Thanks guys.